What we're going to look at today is you determining the equation. So we'll give you a graph, or we'll give you some information, and you're going to tell us what the equation is. Let's do the first one. What I'm going to recommend you look for are all your x-intercepts. So we have 3 of them, and then we're going to determine the equation. So if there's an x-intercept at -5, what is the factor? X plus 5 gives us an x-intercept of -5. X plus 3 gives us an x-intercept of -3. And x minus 2 gives us an x-intercept of 2. So the equation could look like this. Now when I say could look like this, we're going to double check with a point to see if it's correct. We have a y-intercept of -30, and our y-intercept, if we let all the x's equal 0, is -30. The graph is a positive one, so we don't need any plus or we don't need a minus sign up front. So that looks like a possible equation for our graph. If you're confused at all about the plus and minus signs in here, check your x-intercepts. What would make this one equal 0? -5. What would make this one equal 0? -3. What would make this one equal 0? 2. Try this one. Find all your x-intercepts. Got x-intercepts of -5, -3, -1, and 1. Factors then. The x-intercept is -5. The factor is x plus 5. The x-intercept is -3. The factor is x plus 3. The x-intercept is -1. The factor is x plus 1. If the x-intercept is 1, the factor is x minus 1. So there's our best guess at the equation. It's a positive graph, and the y-intercept is -15. Is our equation possible? Ooh, looks good. Okay, let's try another one. X-intercept -1. What's going on here? We have a bounce, so perhaps 2 x-intercepts. Could be 2 or 4 or 6 or 8. You're looking for a possible equation, so just go with the simplest one. We'll check how correct we are with the y-intercept. So I'm going to call my x-intercepts -1, 4, and 1 twice to give us the bounce. X-intercept of -1 gives us a factor of x plus 1. 2 x-intercepts at 1. You could either write it down twice or simpler. Square it. That tells us there's 2. And then x minus 4 for the other factor. Our equation would look like this. Let's check the y-intercept. I'm getting -4, and that looks reasonable. Number between 0 and -10. So we'll call that one correct. Okay, let's try this one. Ooh, these are getting fun. How many x-intercepts there? How many here? And how many there? I would say 2 to give us that bounce, 3 to flatten out, and 1 going straight through. With 2 factors at -2, that would be x plus 2. You could write it down twice or square it. 3 factors at 1. You could write it down 3 times. I think I'll just cube mine. And 1 factor at 3. There's our best guess at the equation. Let's check the y-intercept. Remember to square this one and cube this one. So I'm getting +12. Oh, that looks right. Good work, us. Okay, let's try another one. There's a bounce, so there's 2 x-intercepts. Flattens out and goes through, there'd be 3. Passes straight through, there'd only be 1. Our x-intercepts, 3 of them at 1, 2 at -2, 1 at 3. 2 x-intercepts at -2, that would give us x plus 2 squared. 3 x-intercepts at 1, x minus 1 cubed. 1 x-intercept at 3, x minus 3. Now, Who has noticed what else we have to watch out for in this one? See where the graph ends? If the graph ends down there, what have we done with our equation? We need a minus sign. If you did not notice that, here's how you're going to check your answer. This is our y-intercept. Calculate your y-intercept. If you had forgotten the minus sign, we would have gotten a y-intercept of positive 12, which would have been up here, so we would have known there was a problem. You might have looked at it again and thought, ooh, right, that's upside down, and then you add your negative sign in. So what you're going to do today for exercises, there's a site called GeoGebra that has all sorts of fun math questions that are all free. So let me take you to what you're going to be doing. You'll be given an equation, and we're going to find the equation for it. So you're given a graph. We'll find the equation. So I see an x-intercept at -4. I see an x-intercept at 1. I see this little flattening out at 3. So I'm going to try x minus 3. And this is how you write the exponent. So there's my graph. It's not quite right. So these questions are a little bit harder than the ones I gave you. This one has a y-intercept of 27. And what's our y-intercept? We've got, there's 27 times 4. So ours is 4 times too big. I wonder if we divided by 4, what would happen? Woohoo! We did it. It told us we got it right. So we found all the x-intercepts, but then we're going to have to make this work. They'll always give you a point, and you're going to have to work a little bit harder to make sure it's right. Let's try another one. There's my old graph, so I think I'll just get rid of that so I don't confuse myself. All right, sometimes it's a little hard to see what's going on with these. You can zoom in and out. So it looks like they're both at -3. So 2 x-intercepts at -3. 1 x-intercept at 3. There's our first guess. Okay, little too big. They have an y-intercept of 3.5. Sometimes it's a little hard to read depending on the scaling of things. Ah, good job, I checked it. The y-intercept is -13.5. What's ours? We have -27. And you might be thinking, how do we make -27 into -13.5? -13.5, I think, is -27 over 2. Huh, useful fractions there. Woohoo! Got it again. Sorry, I got way too excited by these. So do as many as you want. Sometimes you'll get ones that are just really difficult, and then you can say, nah, I'm not going to do that. I'll just do a different one. If you need to zoom in and zoom out, go ahead. And sometimes they look like this, and you don't know if there's another x-intercept way out there, so feel free to check. So have fun with these. I think they're really quite exciting.